So let me just close by saying our goal, I think, is to think of advocacy and social change from a new point of view. We can't wait for government to do everything. We can't wait for capitalism to rush in and provide all of the market incentives. I don't want to say it's not a Republican or a Democratic issue. It's not a free market or a social safety net issue. It's an issue of what will work. And we can't wait any longer. We need a different model to close those gaps. And you see the different model emerging all over the country. Any of you who know young people will see they're entrepreneurs. They're finding new ways to save the environment, new ways to get vaccinations to Africa, new ways to reach out to children who want to learn how to read. They're social entrepreneurs, this whole generation. What are they saying to us? They're saying, we are going to be the network. We're going to be the community of enforcement. We're going to be the people who make the difference. We're not waiting any longer for anybody. The same has to be true for us. We are committed in the Special Olympics movement to driving those healthcare programs, those screening centers. We got 8 events in North Carolina. Why shouldn't, how many events do we have throughout the year, Keith? How many? 800. So we're doing 8 so far. Do the math. I can even do that. 792 events that don't have a health screening opportunity. Maybe it's in a local high school gym. Maybe it's at a bowling alley. Maybe it's down at a park rec pool. But there's no one there. Why shouldn't a network like this combine in this triad area to find ways to extend the model of opening the doors of awareness to healthcare practitioners and care to people with developmental disabilities right here? A great way to do it is to show up at the next swimming competition, show up at the next bowling competition, put out a table. Many of you know practitioners who are gifted and who care. Invite them to come. I hope they don't get the statistics we got and we continue to get around the world, but I'm afraid they might. You know, you may think to yourself, more work, less money, more stress, more difficulty. Can't say all those things are wrong, but I can say something else. I think this population, this kind of a movement has given at least me a different sense of what it means to provide service, to care, to help. Usually you think, well, if I'm going to go down and bang a nail, I'm going to help the person who doesn't have a home have a home. Or if I'm going to go serve a meal at the soup kitchen, I'm going to help the person who doesn't have something to eat have something to eat. You know, that calculus is, I have been blessed, somebody else hasn't, I give, they receive. But really, how often do you hear people say, I got back more than I gave? How often do you hear people say, I received something I never expected, when they visited cancer patients for a week or 2? How often do you hear people say, something deep changed within me? And we don't spend a lot of time on that. I bet you've heard it 1,000 times. I certainly have. Oh, I got back more than I gave. Thanks for Special Olympics, people say to me. I got back more than I gave. I always ask them, what did you get back? Oh, they'll say, it was nice to see the athletes. No, I said you got something back. What did you get back? And then people begin to share. I got back purpose. I got back openness. I refreshed my sense of meaning in life. I realized I mattered. The gifts of the Spirit, which are so powerful, which create the kind of happiness and meaning and purpose we all long for in life, are given to us when we have the chance to matter and the chance to make a difference and the chance to open ourselves to the best in others. I think that's the lesson my mother learned 80+ years ago when her sister was born. And when she, as a young child, had to grow up learning that to give to her sister, to fight for her sister, was her life's work. I think we all have brothers and sisters living amongst us who still need us to realize that they are not people with disabilities. They are not people with intellectual, they're not Special Olympics athletes. They're our brothers and sisters. And for too long, healthcare doors have been telling them no. This is a movement we believe can be really given life. We've heard it over and over again. They come to the Special Olympics spaces, however small, however limited. They find a family not divided by religion or ethnicity or history or political party, but rather united, pursuit of freedom, having a good time, joyful, celebrating one another, a movement where fear and tension might be real outside, but they're not the inevitable way we live. We don't have to live like that. A movement where beauty is celebrated, not vanity, where victories are given, but you don't have to defeat someone. It is almost as though you enter into a different space of love without any boundaries, a kind of flooding of your heart sometimes with a kind of awe and simplicity and lightness and peace that I believe we all hunger for. So to many, this worldview is imaginary. People say, oh, you know, that's nice, doesn't really exist, however. It's not real. I think it's the only real thing out there. Everything else is illusion. It may be too grand an idea for people like you who have to work hard every day to keep the doors open, to keep your schools working, to manage complex cases, to fight with bureaucracies, but I don't think so. I think you're in this room because you believe in it. I think you're in this room because something, some moment in your life sparked you to realize you have a brother or a sister, just like my mother did, who you need to care for, who you need to open yourself up to, and who you need to be changed by. And in recognizing that in yourself, you have opened yourself to becoming an agent of change for others. I thank you all for doing it. I invite you to join with our team here in North Carolina in figuring out how we can take this movement, this civil rights moment, this unique opportunity we have to be agents of change for real justice, not just once a year, but every day, here in this part of the state of North Carolina, and by doing so here, to send an example to every community in the United States and around the world that it can be done, it must be done, and people have done it. Thank you all very much for your attention today and for all your work. Thank you. Thank you.